Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. As many of you know, Jesper Bratt just recently played in his 500th NHL game, and a few games later recorded his 400th NHL point. Jesper was drafted in 2016 as a 17-year-old kid from Sweden, about 1 month shy of his 18th birthday, drafted in the 6th round, 162nd overall. That is right, my friends. 161 players were picked before Jesper Bratt in that draft. I repeat, 161 players were chosen by NHL clubs before Jesper Bratt in the 2016 draft. I am sure there's tons of GMs that would love a multitude of redos during that draft year, as Jesper Bratt has emerged as one of the best players in the National Hockey League. And what an absolute steal for your New Jersey Devils. A late draft pick find. Would love to see the Devils hit on some more like that, but obviously finding guys in the 6th round that will go on to have the careers of Jesper Bratt are very few and far between. How blessed the Devils are to have selected Jesper with that pick. Easily one of the best draft finds in New Jersey Devils history, bar none. Jesper and the New Jersey Devils are off to a great season. Let's take a little bit of a closer look at Jesper Bratt. Here we see the career stats thus far for Jesper Bratt, making his debut for the Devils in 17-18, and from that point until current day, he has played in 504 games, registering 142 goals with 258 assists for 400 career points. And thus far, Jesper Bratt is roughly a .8 points per game player. Very good. Very, very good, but that included early on in his career. He was very young. He was making an adjustment playing with men in the NHL. So now let's just dial it into where he became the Jesper that we pretty much know today. And I would say that happened in the 21-22 NHL season. We look in 21-22, Jesper played in 76 games, recording 26 goals and 47 assists for 73 points. A solid season, nearly a point per game, only 3 points shy of a point per game. And then you go to 22-23. A lot of you Devils fans know that was a franchise record-setting season for your New Jersey Devils, where they finished with 112 points before beating the New York Rangers in a beautiful 7-game playoff series before ultimately falling short against the Carolina Hurricanes in round 2. But Jesper had a great regular season, played in all 82 games, registered 32 goals, 41 assists, and 73 points. Again, a little bit less points per game there in his second season in this sample space, but still a very solid outing with 0.9 points per game during the campaign, and played in all 82 games. Durability matters, and a lot of guys have trouble consistently playing in all 82 games. Jesper did that in that 22-23 season, and he followed it up with a very solid campaign in 23-24, his best career season to date. Played in all 82 during that season, registering 27 goals and 56 assists for 83 points, officially finishing the season with over a point per game average. And to this season, currently, during 24-25, 33 games played for Jesper Bratt. He hasn't missed one yet. 13 goals and 28 assists for 41 points. And this is now, Jesper Bratt is starting to level it up, my friends. He's been showing it for the past few seasons, and now I believe this is truly going to be his official breakout season. He's been one of the most underrated and underappreciated players across the entire National Hockey League, in my opinion. And we look in this sample space here over these 3.5 seasons, almost 3.5 seasons. We're not quite at the halfway point yet for this season, but we're almost there. He has 273 games played, registering 98 goals, 172 assists for 270 total points, and that comes out to .989 points per game, a hair under a point a game player. And this is a new era for Jesper Bratt, my friends. He is explosive, and a lot of you say, oh, I thought he was pretty good, and he looks pretty good. The reality is he's not getting credit for how good he truly is. And what makes him so good? It's not just one thing. It's many things. Many, many things make Jesper Bratt the player that he is. The NHL Edge, an advanced statistics and analytics branch of the NHL, recently put out an article, and I'll just share a little clip here. This was published a few days ago, so the stats are slightly off. It was published before the Blackhawks game, and this is being recorded after the Blackhawks game. But Bratt, 39 points in 32 games, tied for 8th, and Jack Hughes, 38 points in 32 games, tied for 11th, are near the top of the NHL, with Bratt continuing to prove he's one of the most unheralded players league-wide. He ranks 24th in the NHL in points during the past 4 seasons, with 268 coming from 98 goals and 170 assists in 272 games since 2021-22. The underlying metrics, for all of you that love the stats, here we go. The underlying metrics also support Bratt being one of the most well-rounded elite players out there. Per NHL Edge stats, Bratt ranks in the 90th percentile. The 90th percentile or better among forwards in the following categories. And I'm going to bring you through them one by one. The first category, speed bursts over 20 miles per hour. He has 69 of them, and that is in the 92nd percentile, meaning slightly over 2 times a game, Jesper Bratt is sizzling up that ice at over 20 miles per hour. Now, for those of you that say, oh, that doesn't sound that fast, you obviously haven't been to an NHL hockey game or really understand it from watching on TV. Essentially, he's skating at the speed most cars are required to drive on residential roads in New Jersey. Most of the residential roads in New Jersey, it's a 25 mile per hour, and it seems like you're crawling, you're in a car. But for a human being to have on metal blades strapped to their feet, flying up the ice with other guys trying to kill them, is absolutely phenomenal. And again, I implore all of you, if you've never been to an NHL game, I beg you to get out to one, sit as close as possible, and really pay attention to all the things going on within a game. But Jesper Bratt, obviously one of the many tools in his tool bag to make him one of the best players in the league is his speed, and that's illustrated with this statistic here that over 2 times a game, he has a speed burst of over 20 miles per hour. That is just absolutely mind-blowing, and again, that is 92nd percentile in the league. We go to the next breakdown here, which is also related to speed, 22-plus mile per hour speed bursts, and he has 9 of them in the 97th percentile. That couple extra miles per hour is a huge difference. For those that aren't really familiar, the difference between the guys that can skate 20 miles per hour and 22 miles, that gap is very substantial in terms of NHL skating speed, and he has 9 of those bursts throughout the season, which basically comes to 1 every 4-ish games or so. 97th percentile. Not many guys in the whole league with more 22-plus mile per hour bursts than Jesper Bratt. We get to now a little bit of the shooting elements here. Mid-range shots on goal, he has 34, which is good for 96th percentile, which is almost exactly 1 shot per game. Jesper Bratt is getting off from what they consider mid-range. And Bratt can score from everywhere. He could score mid-range. He could score off the rush with the moves and the hands. He could get down low. A very versatile player. Jesper Bratt is an absolute treat to watch as a Devils fan, and he is lethal. Mid-range shots on goal, almost won a game, 34 on the season, 96th percentile. Wow. Wow, oh, wow. And then we look at the next one. Now we're getting from shots to goals. Mid-range goals. Jesper Bratt has 7 of them, which is in the 98th percentile. So now you're talking about the last few categories. He's not only in the top 90%, he's in the 96, top 96, top 97, top 98 now. Mid-range goals, 7, 98th percentile. Another skating-related metric here. Total skating distance, 97.82 miles, which is in the 96th percentile. Wow. And a lot of people might wonder, what exactly does that mean? And it means because this man is a speed demon and doing everything, he is flying up and down the ice with or without the puck. Great players in the league, if you watch them away from the puck, they're, for the most part, not standing still waiting for something to happen. They're actively zooming around the ice, looking for an opportunity and looking to make something happen. Jesper Bratt's doing that in the top 96th percentile of total distance skated, 97.82 miles. Wow, nearly 3 miles a game for Jesper Bratt. Unbelievable stuff. In the highest echelon of the league in that category as well. And now we look at shot speed. His top shot speed on the season is 91.32 miles per hour. Good for the 90th percentile. I imagine at some point that was a one-timer. We often see Jesper Bratt kind of trying to get lost behind defenders or find some ice where there's some open room, and a lot of times either Jack will dish him one or maybe somebody else from a corner will try to find Jesper Bratt. And when he winds up and gets low for that one-timer, it is a lethal shot, and his top shot speed thus far, 91.32 miles per hour, 90th percentile. I love this one too. This is a very good stat. Offensive zone time percentage on power play. As we all know, Jesper Bratt always out there with Jack on power play 1, and for good reason. Peanut butter and jelly, baby. These guys are the Batman and Robin of the New Jersey Devils. The 1-2 punch have been getting it done ever since they've been on a line this season together. We've seen pieces of them playing on lines over years, but never long-term. They've just had a game or two, small sample sizes, and they always look phenomenal. Obviously, the two most offensively gifted guys on the New Jersey Devils roster, Sheldon Keefe has them on a line together and obviously playing power play one. Absolutely dangerous, the two of them together. Lethal stuff. And when we look at the offensive zone time percentage on power play, 64%, which is the 91st percentile. 64% of the time on the power play, they are in the O zone. They are in the O zone. And if you equate that to, on average, I would say, I don't have it in front of me. I don't even know if you could find this stat. But on the power play one unit, a lot of times they're out there for a minute and a half. And power play two is only getting, the last 30 seconds or so of a power play. But that boils down to every minute of power play time that Jesper Bratt is out there, the Devils are in the O zone for 38.4 seconds out of every minute. 38.4 seconds out of every minute. And if you want to say, their average power play shift might be closer to a minute and a half, you're talking about 57.6 seconds out of every 90 seconds. So you're talking about nearly a full minute out of a minute and 30-second power play shift. They will be in the O zone. And credit to Jesper Bratt and Jack Hughes. This stat clearly shows what a lot of us have seen with our own eyes, is that up until the last couple weeks, the New Jersey Devils power play was white hot and just scoring at an amazing rate. An absolutely amazing rate, and part of that is because Jesper Bratt and Jack Hughes together are able to keep that continued offensive zone possession and keep the defense on their heels. You'd love to see it, and that 64% is 91st percentile. So just to recap, what the eye test already told most of us paying attention is that Jesper Bratt is elite. The surface level stats with his points per game all show that as well, but you want to dig a little deeper and say, what goes behind that? Why is Jesper Bratt so good? And here it is. Speed burst over 20 miles per hour. He has 69 on the season, 92nd percentile. 22 plus mile per hour speed burst. He has 9, 97th percentile. Mid-range shots on goal, he has 34, 96th percentile. Mid-range goals, he has 7 on the season, 98th percentile. Total skating distance, 97.82 miles, 96th percentile. Top shot speed, 91.32 miles per hour is the 90th percentile. And then the last one we just did, offensive zone time percentage on power play, 64%, 91st percentile. There is 7 categories right there that Jesper Bratt is in the 90th percentile or better. And of those 7, he is in the 96th percentile or better in 4 of them. This, my friends, is the elite of the elite. I hope you have a slightly better understanding of how good this man is, what a treasure we have in Jesper Bratt, how fortunate we are that general manager Tom Fitzgerald locked him up long-term to a very team-friendly contract in hindsight a couple years ago, and that he is a long-term Devil and part of this nucleus for years to come, which hopefully brings the New Jersey Devils at a minimum 1 Stanley Cup championship. This core with Jack, Luke, Nico, Timo, these guys have to win at least 1 cup for the New Jersey Devils. I would love to see 2 or 3, but this core is so good they have to win at a minimum 1, and Jesper Bratt will be an immense, and I repeat, an immense part of a Stanley Cup eventually returning to New Jersey. And just appreciate what we have here, guys, because like I said, the eye test is one thing. We could all see that he's great, but when you really see what goes behind it and all of the different categories that he is amongst the elite of the elite in, it's truly mind-blowing. Some of these were a little bit surprising to me, how high he was on the list. I'd imagine he was going to be pretty high for most of them, but to see how truly high he is, 96% or better in 4 of them, I mean, wow. Just sit back, enjoy the ride, guys. This New Jersey Devils team, I love the roster. I love how we're playing. I do believe it's going to be a special season for us. And appreciate Jesper Bratt. I've been talking about how good and how consistent he has been for this club for quite a while now, but I really wanted to take a little bit of a deeper dive and really show how good this guy truly is. Jesper Bratt is elite. There is the proof, as if you needed any more, but there it is in black and white, in the numbers, courtesy of the math department at NHL Edge. Jesper Bratt is elite. I look forward to watching him and Jack continue to torture defenses and goaltenders for the rest of the season. And hopefully that 1-2 punch is a main factor in the New Jersey Devils bringing home Stanley Cup number 4. Cannot wait for playoff hockey in April, guys. I cannot wait. I'm expecting a massive playoff out of Jesper Bratt. I'm expecting a big playoff from Jack, Timo, and some of the other guys. I think they're really going to have their coming out party this spring. But let me know what you thought about this video in the comments. Let me know if any of these categories surprised you. Did any of it not surprise you? Anything, everything, New Jersey Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. I enjoy talking to all of you. I'll be back soon. I have a ton of thing in the works. I'll have a video with some predictions and a bunch of stuff. It's all coming out soon. And that's all I got for you now. That is all I have. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Jesper Bratt is elite. You saw the proof. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.